By late October, the long sunny days of the Andalusian summer were fading, and we quickly realized our old solar setup just wasn't going to cut it. We had six mismatched solar panels and six old lead batteries. They were basically just truck batteries hooked up together, and they completely stopped holding a charge. It turned into a daily routine. Right around 6 p.m., just as the sun went down and I was logging on for my remote shift with the US team, the whole house would lose power. Working online and coordinating digital projects require a reliable connection. Without electricity, I simply couldn't do my job. Right around the same time, our 15-year-old cat, Canelo, got pretty sick. The farmhouse was freezing without power, and it just wasn't safe for him. So we packed up our laptops, put Canelo in his carrier, and temporarily moved into my mother in law's house in the village. Staying in the village was a huge relief. We had stable electricity, running water from the grid, and we were much closer to the vet for Canelo's checkups. We ended up staying there until the end of January. My work continued without any issues, but getting the new solar panels installed turned into a bit of a waiting game with the local bureaucracy. We submitted our permits to the town hall and paid the fees in early November. We thought it would be quick, but there was a lot of back and forth, and we just had to be patient while they processed everything. By the time we finally got the approval at the end of November, the solar company was completely booked up for the end of the year. That meant waiting another 2 months through December and January. When the delivery truck finally showed up with the solar blocks that will anchor the solar panels to the ground, we ran into another issue. Our driveway is quite narrow for the truck to fit. The driver had to unload everything at our neighbor's entrance, which is about 200 meters up the road. Miguel and I had to move all the heavy concrete base blocks ourselves. We spent hours carrying 50-kilogram blocks down the road to our front porch. It was definitely a workout. When we first started planning our move to Spain, we really underestimated the cost of a modern off-grid solar setup. The final quotes were about twice what we had originally budgeted. If you're planning something similar, definitely do your research and budget for unexpected costs. The installation crew finally arrived in late January, right in the middle of a massive rainstorm. It rained nonstop for days. Our original plan was to put the panels on the ground up on the hill beside the house, facing south. Because it was just impossible to bring those blocks up, we had to change our plans and put the panels on the roof of the house instead. This meant we had to split them with some facing east and some facing west, rather than having them all face south. This actually turned out to be a good thing. Instead of one big spike of power at noon, the east-west setup gives us a steady supply of energy from morning until late afternoon, which is perfect for my work schedule. The installation crew worked under the heavy rains, but after 3 days, the system went live. Moving back to the farmhouse with a reliable power system has been amazing. Our new batteries are fully charged by mid morning, even when it's cloudy. No more power cuts during work. It took a lot of time and effort, but having stable, independent energy is absolutely worth it. Now that the power is sorted, we can finally move on to our next big project, getting the concrete slabs ready for our new rainwater deposit. But before we get into the water setup, I want to show you some of the curious things we found around the property. These are the little details that made us fall in love with this place to begin with.
Thanks for hanging out with me today. Feel free to subscribe to follow along with our farmhouse updates. I'm Crizel and welcome to Cortijo Life.